Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News.
Good afternoon. Bill Bryant and Barbara Bailey here for WKYT. An officer-involved shooting left one man dead over the weekend.
It happened yesterday in the Gunlock community in southern Magoffin County, not far from the Floyd County line. Investigators say they went to serve a warrant, and the situation quickly escalated. WKYT's Sam Smith is tracking the investigation in our top story at 12:30. Sam?
State police were called here to Magoffin County to assist the sheriff's office yesterday. Troopers and deputies went out to the Gunlock community of Magoffin County to serve an arrest warrant on Carter Ray Castle. I'm told when officers arrived, Castle was found outside his home and he told police he had a gun on him. Police say they tried to negotiate with Castle at the scene. A deputy and a trooper both used tasers, but police say the tasers did not work. Police say Castle then pulled out a gun and pointed it toward the officers. Police say a trooper shot Castle. Castle was then airlifted to St. Mary's Medical Center in West Virginia for treatment. He died today. No one else was harmed. State police say this investigation is ongoing. In Magoffin County, Sam Smith, WKYT.
Thank you, Sam. The trooper who shot Castle is on paid administrative leave, which is state police policy.
We're learning more this afternoon about a man who was stabbed to death in his own home. Lexington police say 20-year-old Matthew Donahue stabbed his boyfriend, 40-year-old Todd Schumacher, at a home on Lamont Drive last night. We talked with neighbors who say the couple moved in about 6 months ago and pretty much kept to themselves. They tell us something like this is unusual for that neighborhood.
This is usually a quiet neighborhood. Everybody's friendly, no trouble at all, no crime. So this is like the first time it's ever happened since I was born.
Police arrested Donahue. They have charged him with murder. He will be in court tomorrow. Authorities have officially confirmed the identity of human remains found in Fleming County back in October. The coroner says the remains belong to a University of Cincinnati professor, Randall Russ. He disappeared from Grant County back in August. Police have charged two men, Charles Black and Kevin Howard, with Russ's murder.
An 18-year-old suspected of committing a string of crimes with his 13-year-old girlfriend has agreed to return to Kentucky. Police arrested Dalton Hayes and Cheyenne Phillips in Panama City Beach, Florida yesterday. During a court appearance this morning, Hayes said he would sign the papers to come back to Kentucky instead of going through a formal extradition process. Hayes and Phillips spent about 2 weeks on the run after disappearing from Grayson County. Hayes is expected to face burglary, theft, criminal trespassing, and criminal mischief. Phillips will face charges in juvenile court. A grand jury will hear the case of a Casey County woman whose death was ruled a suicide, yet the investigation remains open. 42-year-old Leah Skipper died of a gunshot wound to the head on March 18th of last year. The coroner ruled her death a suicide. However, Skipper's daughter believes county officials did not do a complete investigation, and too many questions linger about her death. The Casey County grand jury is scheduled to meet this Friday.
The answer to a really easy question, is this a murder or a suicide, from a scientific standpoint, will never be answered.
Tonight at 6, WKYT talks to a former state medical examiner about the case and where he believes investigators went wrong.
The life and legacy of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is being celebrated on this federal holiday around the nation. Hundreds gathered in Lexington this morning for the annual Freedom March. It followed the Unity Breakfast, which kicked off earlier this morning at Heritage Hall. The organizers of the breakfast are urging people not to use this as just a day off from work, but instead as a day of service.
Dr. King always strived to help others. Period. This day is an acknowledgement of all the things that he had done, so now it's up to us to continue to stride forward as we try to help others in our community.
Today's Freedom March is followed by this year's commemorative program, which is titled The Courage to Change. A new warning for young people about one of their favorite foods.
Also, a potential problem for teens who can't fall asleep. Ebony Williams has details in this Better Living report.
A national report on adolescence and sleep says teenagers who have trouble falling and staying asleep may be more prone to binge drinking, substance abuse, and risky sexual behavior later on. Researchers say overtiredness in childhood can predict eventual problems, and that parents should monitor sleep habits. New data from researchers in California indicates that parents who refuse vaccines for their children tend to live in the same geographic areas. Some doctors are concerned that measles and whooping cough, diseases once eradicated in the U.S., now appear to be on the upswing. And a new study suggests it may be time to serve children and teenagers less pizza. Researchers in Chicago linked frequent pizza eating to higher levels of saturated fat and salt, and recommended that pizza, especially from fast food chains, be limited. Those are some of the day's top health stories. Ebony Williams, CBS News, New York.
And there's much more to come on WKYT News at 12:30. What's ahead this year for Kentucky's Department of Agriculture? We'll talk with the commissioner about that and take a look back at 2014.
A Mason County football coach explains the title of his new book, which is called Black Shoes and White Shoestrings.
And we'll hear from a 17-year-old harmonica quiz on today's Wood Songs Kids.
And we're looking outside Madison County as we look toward the north, and things look pretty good. A few clouds back toward northern portions of Fayette County and into the northern zones. No rain for today, no real chance tomorrow. Looks mild until midweek, and I'll explain what happens then coming up.